Okay guys, so the first thing I wanted to show you is A Well-Trained Mind. It's a book that Susan Wise Bauer and Jesse Wise wrote, and it's just about classical education, and this is really kind of the background theme to our homeschool, is to give our kids a classical education. And so we are doing that by implementing curriculum that has a lot of classical based ideas behind it, as well as we're doing a co-op that is a classical based co-op, and it's not Classical Conversations, but it's another local co-op that focuses on the classical method and model. And so our kids will be doing a lot of their reading, and a lot of their science actually will be through that. So I'll have some things that I'm going to have to swap out that I currently have for curriculum once we start the co-op, but I went ahead and just got started with our curriculum that I purchased before, and we'll just kind of pick and play with which ones we want to add in once we start the co-op. Okay, so Well-Trained Mind is a really good resource if you're interested in the classical model. If you don't have time to read it, you can do Audible with it, which is a really good purchase because it's super thick. But it's also a good reference book that you might want to use with time as your kids get into different stages. Okay, so Georgia is my preschooler. She's just going to be learning like her letters and her numbers and her colors this year. She just turned 4 and she hasn't been in preschool, but she's really interested in learning. However, she has kind of a shorter attention span, so I've kind of held off on doing too much formal stuff with her, but I did start this book. It's from Handwriting Without Tears, and it's just like the first school book, and my 2 boys did it in preschool, and they loved it, and they ended up learning all the letters. And we're also going to start doing some sounds with the letters too. And Georgia, I think she's getting close to being ready to maybe start doing some reading stuff as we enter further into the year. And this is a book that I've heard great things about, The Ordinary Parent's Guide to Teaching Reading. And it's just really simple, and I've looked through it quite a bit, and I think that in a few months Georgia will be ready to start doing that. Okay, so the other curriculum I got for her, it's from My Father's World, and it's called All Aboard the Animal Train. And it's really fun. We started doing it with her actually a few weeks ago, and basically it's only a few hours total a week. And so they learn about kind of all these different themes here: love, obedience, patience, kindness, sharing. You can just keep reading on there. And they incorporate like animals and colors, and this one doesn't have a lot of like letter recognition, but they do end up having a lot of fun activities with mom and the other kids in the family. And so I wanted to give her something she could do, and here's like the little worksheets that go with it. So she'll be doing some fun, like, you know, arts and crafts type activities, which will be good. As well, I really like this curriculum because it incorporate a lot of just stories, which George's favorite thing are stories. And so here's just some of the stories in the books that came with the curriculum that I bought, which I did get used actually and got a really good deal on it. And later on, if it's something I don't really want to do again, I can always resell it and recoup some of the costs. So that's pretty cool. And then with My Father's World, what I really like about it is that in the back, it gives you the different units and then supplemental reading. So the first unit is like about love and rabbits. So these are all these different books you can get from the library. And all you have to do is just go on the library website and then put holds on those books, or just a few of them if you want. And then when they're ready, you get an email and you just go pick them up. And so that's super fun. And we've been doing that. And these are some of the books about counting, and this is about some forest life that Wyatt's using. Okay, so Wyatt's is called Learning God's Story, and his is also My Father's World. And so his I actually bought new because I got a really good deal on it. So that's pretty cool. And this is the curriculum for the teacher guide, I guess. And it's very clear what you need to have for like the whole year. And yeah, so it's great. And then it's neat because all you have to do is just read it. You don't have to come up with anything. And for me, that was the biggest thing, is I just didn't want to be creative with the curriculum. I just wanted to read something and feel like it was sufficient. This is his little binder. So when he finishes an assignment, he gets a little sticker, which he loves. And then I just photocopied the lesson overview so he can see what we're going to be doing. And you can see here, this week is what we've been doing. Every time we do something, we just check it off. So it's really easy. And my father's world is based on a 4-day a week. So Fridays is pretty much a free day / exploration day. And they use kind of the Charlotte Mason approach on Fridays, where you have a nature notebook and you go outside and you do stuff outside. So yeah, Wyatt got started and just kind of reviewing basic letters and sounds, and he just started reading last year in kindergarten, and he's doing really good already, so that's fun. And so with his curriculum, it comes actually with its own math book, and some families like to use a different kind of math, but we're going to try this one. And I like it that it's colorful, and it's based just on like really good math concepts, and so it's not super heavy on the workbook, but there's a lot of like things you do with the pattern blocks and with the Unifix cubes and with other materials in the house. And I think just the hands-on will be really, really good for Wyatt. I also got this for him, the first language lessons for the well-trained mind, so we can work on grammar. A lot of people, I guess, really love the Bible reader with the well-trained mind, and I'm sorry, with My Father's World. I've heard really good things about it, and this doesn't get started till later on. In a few weeks, we'll be starting this. There's some science books that come with it, and then this is pretty cool because it's a devotional, but it has like it's about animals. So that's pretty cool. And then there's an art program that both Billy and Wyatt will be using called I Can Do All Things. Okay, so Billy's is called Adventures in U.S. History, and it is 2nd and 3rd graders can use it, and it's a 1-year program, and it's kind of similar to Wyatt's as well as George's, where they have like these awesome book lists in the back of the book that you can just go out to the library and get a whole bunch of books that help you to process the information better. So we just learned about the Pledge of Allegiance and like all about the history of it, which, I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of things that I don't know. And so doing homeschooling is going to be really fun because I'm going to learn a lot with them. I was public school educated, and I went to the University of Washington, and you know, I just wasn't super interested in a lot of things, but I am now. So it's going to be fun to learn with them and kind of piece together how all this stuff fits. So those are just some examples. And then he also has a binder here that kind of similarly, I have a check-off place for him to check off when he finishes something. And this curriculum is Christian-based, which is really fun for us. So they'll have like scripture memory, kind of continue what they've been doing. There's this whole section about your name and why, you know, why names are important. And we write a letter to our children, tell them, you know, how we came up with their name. And I mean, just the look on his face today, reading this to him was just really sweet. And so the Adventures in U.S., the Adventures series teaches you about U.S. history and the states. So that's going to be great for him. And then for grammar, we're going to be doing, or language arts, we're going to be doing the Well-Trained Mind. And we started that yesterday, which was fun. Similar to the other curriculum, you just open it up and read it for the day. And then we're going to do Spelling Power for spelling. This isn't going to start for a few weeks, but I've heard good things about this. For math, we're just going to do the Abeka arithmetic math. And he did that in kindergarten, 1st grade, and it seemed to be pretty comprehensive. He gets math pretty well, but if it seems like too many worksheets, maybe we'll switch to something. We have some great math and science, additional literature things. We have the science book, and then these ones back here. And then these are just other reading books they're going to be doing for Billy's curriculum. And the other kids will be sitting in, I'm sure. We started this one 2 days ago, and it's actually really interesting. So anyway, I also have, this is where I've been keeping all the homeschool stuff, and it's like really getting full because I keep buying more. I was at Value Village the other day, and I found all of these really cool workbooks that were not used, and they're actually based on what the Amish use in their schools. And it's just actually really simple, but just super solid. And they're pretty cheap too to buy if you just want to buy them. I think they're like $2 or $3 each workbook. And some of them have like a teacher guide, but some of them are just literally like you just open it up and do it, which is what I had been having Wyatt do the last few days. So they just like cut the fruit out and match it. And then there was some drawing. But it's cool. It just, I don't know. I love all this stuff. It's really fun for me. So anyway, I just want to encourage you guys that you can do it. Don't be overwhelmed. And I know I've probably made it way more complicated than it has to be as far as all the resources. But I also really like having a lot of resources, and I like to kind of pick through what I want to use. And we might not even use all this, but I just want to have it on hand. And so also we started with a few hymns in the mornings and reading from the Bible. That's always a good place to start. The kids like it. I like it. It's good for us. And yeah, so anyways, I just wanted to wish you guys the best of luck as you're getting started thinking about next year. And also if you just like have the urge to start, just start. That's the cool thing about homeschool I've been learning, is that there's nothing holding you back. Like you can start your school year now. I was just thinking I could start it now, get a few weeks into it, and then, you know, if we want to take some days off, then we can. We're not super behind. And so as we add co-op into our schedule, that's going to have a lot of reading and some commitment. So I thought, you know, I'm really excited about the kids learning these things. I want them to have that, but also want to be able to take some time off if we need to do some other stuff. So if you want any more information about any of these resources that I have, please feel free to reach out to me through, you know, email or through Facebook or whatever. I'm always happy to talk about it, and I will keep letting you guys know how it's going. Okay,